Hey, what's up everybody? Happy Sunday. Today we're going to talk all about food. How much should you eat? What should you eat? And how should you organize it so that it all works for your goals, for your lifestyle, and how you want to look. So first, let's talk about how much should you eat. There's a very easy starting point, and there's two ways of going about it. So the first way is, if you are counting calories, take your weight in pounds and then multiply it by 15. So for example, I'm 190 pounds. So I do 190 times 15 and I get somewhere around 2,800. Now please keep in mind that this is just a starting point. Don't get tied to that number, okay? You need to try it out for a few weeks and then adjust. Is it getting you closer to your goals? Yes or no? If you find that it's too much calories, reduce it by 200 calories. Don't go too aggressive, okay? Just go 200 calories less, try that for a couple weeks, reassess. Similarly, like if it's not enough calories, add 200 calories and then just go through that assessing process again. The other way you can go about this is without counting calories. So you just start with the assessing process. Where are you now? Eat the same way for 2 weeks and then assess. Are you getting closer to your goals? Yes or no? If you're not moving, or like if your weight's not fluctuating and you want to gain muscle mass, for example, you should eat a little bit more for the next 2 weeks, reassess. On the other hand, if you're trying to lose weight and you feel like, or you see that you're plateauing, like your weight's not moving, then go a little bit less. In a nutshell, that's how you find out how much you should eat. It's gonna help a lot if you track something. So maybe you track your body weight and you weigh yourself in once a week, or you can take pictures of yourself and then you compare those once a week as well, or every other week. The key here is to track something that you can easily replicate week over week. So for example, like a weigh-in at the same time of the day, wearing the same clothes is something very simple you can do if you have a scale. Okay, so now let's talk about what should you eat. As a general rule, try to stick as much as possible to whole unprocessed foods. And so that doesn't mean you need to go organic and like buy expensive stuff, but when you look at a food, like when you pick up a food and you look at it in your hand, ask yourself the PhD questions. Can you pick it, hunt it, or dig it? So can you pick it from a plant or a tree? Can you hunt it or fish it, or can you dig it from the ground? If the answer is no to all three questions, then odds are that what you're looking at has been modified or processed one way or another. And if you've answered yes to any of these questions, then odds are it's a whole unprocessed food. So for example, you take an apple, you can pick it from a tree. You take a piece of meat or a piece of fish, you can hunt it. You pick a potato or a carrot, you can dig it. Okay, so that's kind of like how you can look about it. If you look at a pizza, on the other hand, those don't grow in trees, you can't hunt them, and thankfully you can't dig them up the ground. So when you look at a pizza, you're like, okay, it has been processed one way or another. I'm not saying don't eat those foods, okay? Just eat them in moderation and just be aware of them. Because if you're eating them like every single day and you're not looking the way that you want to look, you can start there and maybe making substitutions on some of your meals, not all of them. Now let's talk about how you can organize it so that you can actually eat all those foods. And it all comes down to grocery shopping and meal prepping. So grocery shopping is very straightforward. Obviously, just have a list of what you want to eat the following week. You should be doing one big grocery haul at least once a week just to get your fresh produce, your fruits, your meats. Like, you don't want to go more than 2 weeks without having those fresh ingredients in your home. Once you've grocery shopped and once you've done your big grocery haul, it's time to meal prep. For those who don't know, meal prepping just means literally preparing your food for the week that's coming up. And there's a few different ways to go about it. So I'll tell you what I do. And if that resonates with you and that's something that you can apply to your lifestyle and your goals, then that's great. But what I want you to really think about is, how could you apply similar principles to your lifestyle? So for example, once I do my big grocery haul, I will do 3 things. I will cook all my meats. So that means my chicken breasts. I will pre-cook all the chicken breasts. I will pre-cook all the rice, because I find that chicken breasts and rice, they stay in the fridge relatively well for at least 5 days. And then I will try to pre-chop most of my veggies, not all of them, but most of them. So I cook meats, grains, and veggies. And then from then, I put that in my fridge, and then throughout the week, when I want to make a meal, it's as simple as just like reaching in my fridge, grabbing one of this pre-cooked chicken breasts, putting some rice on the plate, putting that in the microwave. As it's in the microwave, I put all the veggies in a salad. It takes me like 2 to 3 minutes, and then within 5 minutes, I have a whole balanced meal. So once again, you don't have to cook exactly that way, or you don't have to meal prep exactly that way, but what you should have after a good meal prepping session is just like a simple way of eating for the rest of the week. The one drawback of meal prepping is that yes, you are eating very similar meals throughout the week. If you're a person that requires a lot of variety in their diet, I would recommend that you do the variation on a week-to-week basis. Because if you want to eat something different every single day, and if you want to prep that, the amount of the grocery shopping that you're going to do is going to be insane. And the amount that you're going to meal prep, like you're going to be meal prepping for like a whole day, which some people don't have that time. I personally meal prep for 2 to 3 hours on Sunday, and then I'm good to go for the rest of the week. And lastly, let's talk about having an active lifestyle. How should you eat? It basically comes down to how many calories you're eating. So if you're super active and you're not eating enough calories or enough proteins, you're going to be sore all the time. You're going to feel lethargic. So you want to make sure that you're eating enough to sustain all the activity you're doing. When it comes to when it comes to protein, a really good thing to aim for is try to eat 1.6 grams of protein per kilogram of body weight on a daily basis. So for this one, I'm 86 kilos roughly. So I do 86 times 1.6, and I get somewhere around 130 grams of protein per day. So that's the minimum amount of protein I try to eat. You can eat more for sure, but for me personally, like once I've hit my protein needs, I'd rather eat carbs. And that's it. Lastly, if you're vegan, you can get all the protein you need from your diet. You do not need fancy supplements. You just need to make sure that you eat a combination of different protein sources. If you're eating like tofu, lentil, and chickpeas, those are the 3 big ones, you will be getting a complete protein intake. So yeah, like some vegan proteins are incomplete, but if you eat different sources of vegan proteins, you will have a complete protein in your diet. That's all I've got for you today. If you have more questions, let me know in the comments. I will be updating this video or making new ones probably every 6 months because I'll have more information that I think about for you guys.